Tara, how should individuals, I guess, and families think about wealth transfer and planning in the wake of the one big, beautiful bill? Maybe it's an act now.
Yes, it is an act, Greg. And this bill, now an act, really was a huge relief for ultra high net worth individuals and families. It made permanent the expanded estate tax exclusion, which will now go to $15 million at the beginning of 2026. But that does not give people an excuse to delay estate planning. What it gives people is a little bit more flexibility. So if you're a high net worth individual, instead of having to trade off between should I give this money today or potentially lose this exclusion, which was set to go away next year, you have some more time and some more flexibility to think about it.
What are the most common mistakes made by wealthy individuals who are transferring wealth? Let's start with the accumulation part first.
So really it's not having a plan at all for everybody. And this really goes for whether you're in the accumulation phase or the retirement phase, or whether you have $1 million or $100 million, you need to have an estate plan. The basic documents are really a will, a power of attorney, and a healthcare proxy. Those questions of who decides for you is really paramount. And if you don't make the decision, somebody else will make it for you.
And now let's flip to the decumulation part, when all that money is going to be going to their heirs, to their estates. What happens then? Talk about the tax implications and maybe some of the mistakes that occur.
Sure. Well, I think first and foremost, individuals need to understand how much they need before they start giving money away. So it's important to work with your financial advisor to determine what is your spending and even planning for things like long-term dreams or even long-term care before you start transferring wealth. Secondly, then you work with your professionals to figure out exactly what your priorities are. Where do you want your money to go? And when do you want your money to go to those people or to those organizations that you care about? And at that point, your advisor and your estate planner should come together to pull together a plan for you.
Can you talk about how clients build financial legacies? I guess this is part of the distribution phase or the decumulation phase.
So there's a number of different ways to transfer money in light of all of the tax hurdles that may be in place. Trust is a big, important way to do wealth transfer and to ensure that you're directing assets where you want them to go when you want them to go there. There's either can be philanthropic trust, can be personal trust, but there's a lot of options. One thing a lot of families consider is just an annual exclusion gift to children. That's $19,000 per year. You can start that at any time, whether you're in the accumulation phase or the decumulation phase. And then, of course, there's the much bigger expanded exclusion.
And then finally, let's touch a little bit on the inheritors. What should they be doing or thinking about? Because they're going to be getting some of this money pretty soon. So what can they do so they don't blow the exchange?
Yeah, so look, I think there's really two types of inheritors. There's surviving spouses and then the next generation. Surviving spouses have a tricky planning problem now because many people will be inheriting a deceased spouse's unused exclusion, and that can create some great opportunities for planning during lifetime for that, usually a widow demographically, but it can create some opportunities for her. And then with the next generation, they also have to think about what they need for their own lifestyle and planning going forward, because at the time at which they inherit, they may want to take some action to delay taking those assets onto their own balance sheet, leaving them in trust for the generation beyond them.
All right, well, thanks for coming on and talking about it.
Great to see you.